We've got New Jersey taking on Ottawa, 59-60. We've got Ottawa minus 160 as a home favorite. The total of 5.5, slightly shaded to the under, about minus 115 in this hockey game. Very interesting to see what kind of response we get from Ottawa. Second game now for Erik Karlsson back in the lineup after getting shut out, getting blanked on home ice by the Vancouver Canucks the other night, 3-0. Real impressive stuff from them, without a doubt. We've got Dana and Andrew both with a take on this Devils Senators game. We're going to go to Andrew first. What are you looking at here in New Jersey, Ottawa tonight?
Yeah, Ian, you mentioned it's shaded to the under, and I'm on that as well. You know, some people might think that Ottawa's going to bounce back and continue to put those goals up that they were, but I think that both Ottawa and New Jersey started off this season with a huge spark, and I think that's kind of dropped a little bit. The flame has gone out a little bit, and the energy has gone down a little bit. And you know, I think they have their second home game in a row, and they're hosting this New Jersey Devils team that has been a little bit overhyped. I believe they scored something like it was 26 goals in 6 games, and in their last 5 games, they had 22 goals. It's one of those things where I just think it's going to slow down eventually. The last time these two teams played, the score was 2-1, and I just think that Ottawa's going to go back to their old Guy Boucher style. Craig Anderson's going to have himself a hell of a game tonight, and they're going to sit back and win this game, you know, 3-1 or a 2-1 kind of game. I think Ottawa will win. The price is a little bit too high for my liking. But I think with Corey Snyder and Craig Anderson in nets, it's just one of those games where I think the under's my best bet here.
All right, under, says Andrew McInnes, New Jersey and Ottawa. Yeah, look, New Jersey's playing some pretty decent hockey, and I like that they've got a lot more speed on this team, 4 lines that can skate. That's not the case with New Jersey. They had this dinosaur 1990s, 2000, early 2000 style of thinking when hooking and holding and clutching and grabbing were definitely allowed in the NHL more than it is now. That style of hockey still worked even as little as 4 or 5 years ago, but they have really worked at it, changing their philosophy now with Shiro there, the GM, John Hines, the head coach, and trying to get this team faster with more skill and speed and offensive ability through not just 1 or 2 lines, but all 4 lines. New Jersey's worked at improving that, and we've seen it pay dividends so far. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have contributed offensively on this Devils team. We're not just talking about the guys you would expect in terms of Hall or Johansson or Henrique or Palmieri. Of course, Nico Hischier, first overall pick on this team as well. But the Jesper Bratz, Pavel Zakas, Miles Wood, Blake Coleman, Brian Gibbons, guys like this are scoring goals for the New Jersey Devils so far this season. So it's been impressive to see how they've been able to upgrade a little bit offensively. So it'll be a good challenge here for Ottawa. And like I said, with New Jersey's decent start, 5-1, more than decent, real good start for them. 5-1, perfect, 3-0 on the road. It's an interesting game. I'm actually leaning Devils here a little bit at the plus price. Good price with a team that, hey, don't tell them they're not supposed to be good. They're not playing like it. They got a lot of speed. Going to be a good test for Ottawa. Ottawa, obviously, in bounce-back mode, not going to be happy they got shut out at home. But, you know, New Jersey, tough team to go against getting this price. Not sure I'll be involved, but I'll lean to the Devils anyway. Dana, Devils Senators, what are you looking at for this one?
Yeah, all this too, and they don't even – and Zajac is probably not going to be back until after the first of the year, so you add him to the mix. Who knows where this double team is going to be come the spring, but I don't love this, but I am going to go with a total. I'm going to go against Andrew a little bit in the over. I'm getting a plus price on this, and, you know, a lot of times when you're handicapping things, guys, you look for plus prices, and you want to get back for a little amount given. So not a lot of times, and we've discussed this too, Ian, that not a lot of times that you're jumping on a team because you're 100% sure about this is a win. Sometimes you're just trying to manage your bankroll. So in the name of managing a bankroll, I do like the over in this at plus $1.04 at Heritage. And look, you're looking at a guy like Nico Hischier who scored in 2 straight games against Tampa Bay, and the Rangers set up Drew Stafford's game winner the other night against Tampa Bay. And oh, by the way, here comes Drew Stafford again, the guy that a lot of people have forgot. And if you talk to a lot of scouts or listen to them talk about Hischier, they basically are saying this is the best raw talent to come out of the draft this season. And New Jersey's certainly finding the benefits of that. Taylor Hall, a guy that's seeing a lot of space, mostly because of Hischier, gets a lot of shots on net. We know he flies down the ice. We know he's got a lot of speed. He's a natural scorer. And going back to Drew Stafford, guys, this guy was almost out of the league base. Well, if you ask the Bruins, he should have been out of the league because, he was basically scratched every 3 games. The fact of the matter is, guys, we forget that this guy was a 20-goal scorer in this league. This guy does have skills, and right now it's as good as I've ever seen him in his career. Now, granted, it's kind of this 2-game sample that I'm getting excited about, but he does have 3 goals in these 2 games, and he was a 20-goal guy in Winnipeg, and also he was a 30-goal guy a long time ago with the Buffalo Sabres. So he does have a ton of skill. I do like that top line of those guys. We have not even, and like you alluded to, Ian, I won't go through it, but you alluded to the fact that the depth here is pretty solid. You got even a guy like Will Butcher who's averaging a point of game. Yes, he's not doing it because he's scoring, but he's got 9 assists. Jesper Bratt averaging a point a game. So you go to the Ottawa side, and look, I know that we talk about that 1-3-1 and how much it gave people fits in the neutral zone, but that really didn't even become a thing until the playoffs. I mean, you can't really play that style of hockey all season, or your guys are going to be burnt out by the time the playoffs come. And I know that they play a form of that, but not full on like they played in the playoffs. So I'm not always gun-ho about taking an under just because I think they're going to give teams fits in the neutral zone. Derek Brassard, his last game against Vancouver was probably the first time I didn't think he made an impact this season. He was decent in the face-off circle that game, so he made an impact in that way. He's getting a good amount of power play time, which is telling me that Guy Boucher has some confidence in him. Bobby Ryan, he's had 2 20-goal seasons in recent years. He was a 30-goal guy 3 times with Anaheim, so there's offensive potential there. And I love his plus minus. He's at a +8 this year, so he's very responsible in both ends of the ice. Mark Stone, another guy's been off to a fantastic start, been noticeable in every single game this season. He was certainly a factor in the Sens victories against Calgary and Edmonton when they absolutely smoked them, for both teams combined for 12 goals last Friday and Saturday. So offensively, I think Ottawa certainly is in a position where I can rely on them at least to get 2 or 3 to push this game over. If I'm thinking New Jersey is the part of this equation that is stronger offensively. So basically we're asking Ottawa to get two goals at the most. And then the question remains, do we think that New Jersey can get 3 and then maybe an empty netter at the end? And the answer is yes for me at a plus price. And not only that, and guys, I've said this 100 times, you get a big-time player coming back. Remember, when Bergeron comes back to the Bruins, you play against the Boston Bruins. It happens every single time. If it's a big-time guy coming back to the lineup, or they're having some big, long, extended ceremony, or it's the dad's trip, or whatever it is, if there's something that's different, out of routine, or what has become the routine, you go against that team at least for a game. But we've been there, done that. Erik Karlsson's trying to infuse himself back into the lineup. I hope he does, because he's on my fantasy team. And you have to think that guy's just going to get stronger and will return to normal soon. As soon as, look, he's got half of his ankle out. So, that's going to take a bit. But I do like the over in this at a plus price. Not my strongest play on the board, but certainly one of the plays I like the most.
All right, there we go. Over for Dana, under for Andrew. Hey, you're going to have a collision every now and then. That's the way it's going to go on this show when we're breaking down every single game. We've got it.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.